Hello students, today we will discuss about the time sharing operating system. Before time sharing operating system, already we have finished batch processing operating system, multi-programming operating system, real-time operating system, multi-processing operating system. So according to our syllabus, we will learn today the time sharing operating system. So here the processor time for any program execution, it requires a processor time. So the processor time will be divided among several users or among several programs. Means it is a multi-programming operating system also. So sharing of processor time. So here sharing of processor time. Sharing of processor time among multiple processors. Okay, so this is the time sharing operating system. Processor time will be divided among multiple processors. So time sharing operating system, it is the extension of multi-programming system. Second point, it is the extension of multi-programming operating system. It is the extensions of multi-programming operating system. Okay. Again, multiple programs will be executed by multiple users. So it is also multi-programming, multi-processor, multi-programming, multi-user system. It is also multi-programming, multiple user system. Multiple user system. Okay, so this is all about the time sharing operating system. So here time sharing operating system uses multi-programming with special CPU scheduling algorithm. If there is a special CPU scheduling algorithm, by this algorithm we can distribute the entire processor time into number of time slice or time slot or time quantum. Okay, so several users can execute multiple jobs. Several users perform multiple jobs. Okay, so each processor is executed in a particular time slot. This time slot I think is a time slot or time quantum, time slice. Okay, time quantum or time slice. It is all about to 10 to 100 microseconds. Okay, it is up to 10 to 100 millisecond. So each millisecond will be used by the processors. Okay, so this time sharing operating system, it is supports multiple programming environment among multiple users. So in that it is a multiple user system, multi-programming system, and processor time would be shared among a number of processors. Okay, so for each processing it requires a time slot. This small unit of time slot or time quantum, or that is time slice. You can call it time slice, and each time slot is near about 10 to 100 millisecond. Okay, so CPU time is divided among number of users in a small time, that is the time slot or time quantum or time slice. Okay, so the switching in the CPU timing, the CPU time will be switched. So the switching process between jobs is so fast that user cannot feel that there is a time gap. It is very fast processing, so user will not feel that there is a time gap. So it realized that entire system is dedicated to that program, to execute that program only. Means no feeling of processors are running separately. Means concurrently each processors are executing the each resources are also dedicated, each processor is also dedicated to that particular program. Okay, so this is the time sharing. For example, there are so many processors. All processors or several users, several processors are using CPU time. Means CPU time will be divided will be shared among several processors. Suppose processor P1, processor P2, processor P3, processor P4, and so many processors there. Suppose for our example, we have considered this 4 P1, P2, P3, P4 processors. Means each program is being executed by its corresponding processor, and the processor P1 suppose takes 40 milliseconds for executing in CPU. Okay, and similarly P2 suppose 20 milliseconds, P3 suppose 80 milliseconds, and P4 suppose 30 milliseconds. Okay. So P1 processor requires 40 milliseconds to execute to be executed, and P2 requires 20 milliseconds to execute its program, and P3 processor P3 requires 80 milliseconds to execute its program, and P4 requires 30 milliseconds to be executed in to execute its program. So all the processors processes several programs, and the processor requires this much of time, which is given just below the CPU time. Okay, so the P1 processor requires 40 milliseconds. So all processors can be executed concurrently. Simultaneously, we will feel that all processors are using the CPU time. Okay, suppose CPU, I am just getting a diagram for CPU time. So entire CPU time will be shared among all these processors, and each processor at same time it requires a time slot, because in time and sharing operating system there is a time quantum or time slice or time slot. Suppose I am considering 20 milliseconds. So time slice will be 20 milliseconds. So first it starts from 0. So first it requires 20 milliseconds for P1. Okay. After P1 requires 40 milliseconds to be executed. So the rest is 20 milliseconds is there. 20 milliseconds already being executed here. Then come to P2, because there is no priority cases. Each processor will be given same priority. So another 20 milliseconds will be utilized, will be executed. So this P2, so there is 0, means it is completed. Now P2 is over, already processed. Then after P2, then P3. So it will another 20 milliseconds. So your 80 milliseconds is required. So after 20 milliseconds, there is it requires 60 milliseconds. Okay, it is 20 milliseconds. Then come to P4. So it will be 80. So now it is 10 milliseconds is left for its execution. This is the second. Then come to same priority P1. P1 already from 40 millisecond, already 20 millisecond is being executed and rest 20 millisecond is left. So now P1 will be processed. It will be 100. Now P1 is being completed. Okay, P1 is being completed. Then come to P2. P2 already processed, so no required. Then it passes to the P3. P3 requires now 40 milliseconds, 60 milliseconds. Now 20 milliseconds would be utilized here. P3 120. So now it requires 40 milliseconds. Okay. Then P4. Now P4 requires only 10 milliseconds. So 120. This is 130. Now P4 is being completed. It is being completed. Okay. First P2 is being completed, then P1, then P4. Now P3 is only left, that requires 40 milliseconds. So it requires P4. Sorry, P3. Another 40 milliseconds, 170. Okay. So in this way, all processors are using the CPU time. This is the CPU time. So the CPU time will be shared among several processors, and in this way, all are executed simultaneously. The speed, the fast response time. So concurrently, user will feel that all are running, all programs are running simultaneously or concurrently. So processor time is shared among multiple processors, multiple users. Okay. So response time is minimum. So what is the response time? Is the time interval between input and output by the system. So whenever the system accepts the input value, whenever the system provides the result, the time interval is your response time. And process time is the time taken by the system to process the task. So the process of P1 processing time is 40 milliseconds because the P1 requires 40 milliseconds for its execution. The processing time of P2 is 20 milliseconds. Means in P2, processor P2 requires 20 milliseconds to be executed. And similarly, P3 it requires 80 milliseconds to be executed, and similarly P4 it requires 30 milliseconds. It is the process time. So entire CPU is shared among several this P1, P2, P3, P4 processors. So first, there is no priority cases, so each processor will be given equal priority. So first P1 will be executed. First time slot we have considered time quantum is 20 milliseconds. So first slot 20 milliseconds will be utilized, will be used. So first 20 milliseconds P1 will be executed, and the second millisecond P2 will be executed, and the third one P3 will be executed. Whenever P1 is executed, it takes now it to 20 milliseconds. So as it is, process time is 40 milliseconds. So 2 milliseconds is being left. Okay. Similarly, P2 requires 20 milliseconds, and our time slot is also 20 milliseconds. So now P2 is already being executed, means it is finished. Then P3 and P4, and according to the time slot 20 milliseconds. So all processors are executing with this time. So here the CPU time will be shared among number of processors. Means several users are performing several tasks, several programs. So for several programs there may be several processors. And all processors are using the CPU time. Okay. So this is all about the time sharing operating system. Now let us discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this time sharing operating system. Okay. Now the advantages. Advantages of this time sharing operating system. Okay. So first, in this time sharing operating system, processor will be busy always. Processor will be busy always. Means there is a minimum idle time. almost all the time processor will be utilized unless until there is no task. Okay, so first it reduces. For example, there are number of processors. Okay, so more processors are executing a common computer, common processor. Means there are so many processors are working concurrently or simultaneously by using same processor. For example, P1, P1, P2, P3 suppose, and P4. Okay, there are so many or more processors are there. There are so many processors, and you suppose a processor P1 takes 40 milliseconds. Similarly, P2 suppose 20 milliseconds or 20 milliseconds. P3 suppose 80 milliseconds, and P4 suppose 30 milliseconds. That means P1 requires 40 milliseconds to be executed, and P2 requires 20 milliseconds to be executed, and P3 requires 80 milliseconds to be executed, and P4 processor 4 requires 30 milliseconds. Okay, all are executing the same time. Means all processes are concurrently executed by taking this much of time. So the entire time, CPU time, the CPU time, this is the CPU. Okay, it starts from 0, and the time slot I have considered suppose, or time quantum equal suppose 20 milliseconds. Suppose time quantum 20 milliseconds. Suppose this is the time quantum. Means 20 milliseconds is the time slice or time quantum. It will be used by different processors having equal priority. Okay, so P1 requires 40 milliseconds to be executed in CPU. So this is the CPU time. So first there will time slot 20 milliseconds. So this is 20. In first 20 milliseconds, P1 will be processed. P1 takes first time slot is 20 milliseconds. Then come to P2, another 20 milliseconds, 40. Now P1 is being completed. Sorry, P2 being completed. Then P3. This is P3, another 20 milliseconds. Then P4, another 20 milliseconds. So in first P1, P2, P3, and P4. So next, now P1 requires 40 milliseconds. So after 20 milliseconds, there is rest is 20 milliseconds. Now again P1, it takes another 20 milliseconds. It will be 100. Now P1 is completed. P1 is completed. Then come to P2. P2 already completed, so no required to execute once again. Then it come to P3. Then P3, the time quantum is 20 milliseconds. It will be 120. Then P4 already here 20 milliseconds already executed. So rest is 10 milliseconds. So it requires 10 milliseconds. Then P4 requires 10 milliseconds. It will be 130. So now P4 is being completed. Now first P1, P2 is completed, then P1, then P4. Now here first 20, P3 executed 20, another P3 another 20. So rest is your another 40. So next two time slot will be P3 150, again P3 170. So in this way, all processors uses the CPU time, and now the processor time is shared among multiple users. Okay, so this is all about the time sharing operating system. So the CPU time will be utilized by among several processors. CPU time will be utilized by several multiple processors. So this processing, this execution speed is so fast that user only feel that there is a single processor is being executed. So all systems or processors are seems to be dedicated to only one program at a time, but not practically it is not like that. One after another, it is being executed in a very fast, so that we will feel that all processors are using the same CPU time in a fast manner. Okay, so this is all about the time sharing operating system. Now let's discuss the advantage. What is the advantage of this time sharing operating system, and what is the disadvantage of this time sharing operating system? So first advantage is it is very fast. So first advantage, it is very fast. Means CPU will be always utilized. Means idle CPU time idle is very less. So it reduces the CPU idle time. It reduces CPU idle time. CPU idle time means that CPU will be always busy. Second, it provides quick response time. It provides quick response time. So already I have told you what is the response time in the previous class. So response time is the time interval between input and output by the system. So whenever you are putting input value and whenever you are getting the output value, the time interval is the response time. So response time is very quick, very fast response time. Very quickly it will executes and avoids duplication of software. Next advantage is it avoids. Okay, it avoids duplication of software. In software duplications of software. So this is the basic advantages of this time sharing operating system. So here CPU will always busy. There will no less idle time of the CPU and a very quick response. Response time is very fast, minimum response time, and it also avoids the duplicate software. This is the advantages of this time sharing operating system. Means software duplication is not allowed. Only single software can be used at a time. No duplication of same software. Same software cannot be executed 1 second. Okay, so it helps to memory. Okay, now we will discuss the disadvantages. Now we will discuss the disadvantage. What is the limitations of this time sharing operating system? Again, I am repeating, this time sharing operating system helps to create a multi-programming environment where several users can work, several processes can be executed simultaneously at the same time. Means the CPU time will be divided into number of processors, and each processor will be executed by its small time quantum or time slot. So several users are working same processor. There is a time slot. In each time slot, each processor will be executed at the same time, and simultaneously all programs can be executed in a very fast manner. Means the response time is very minimum, very slow. Response time is very fast. Means a quick response time. Now, though there are some advantages of this time sharing operating system, there are some also disadvantages. Okay, now let us discuss the disadvantages of this time sharing operating system. So first problem is problem of reliability. Problem of reliability. Suppose a program is being executed and there is some error, so it will be hold. This is the disadvantages. Okay, so here some problem may arise. This is not reliability. Okay. Second is problems for data communication. Problems of data communication, because there must be data communicated between several processors. So there is another problem. There are several processors are using same time slot or time quantum. So communications, data communication between processors is another, it may create another problem for this as per the disadvantages of time sharing operating system. And second is security program, security of program and data. Security of program and data. This is the another disadvantage. Means question of security, because there are so many users, several users, and there are so many processors. So as it's a multi-user environment, so security process must be strong. So security process is required, highly required. So question of security is another disadvantages. It may be the disadvantages is considered for this time sharing operating system. Okay, so entire time sharing operating system, the entire CPU time will be divided into number of several processors. So each processors is seen to be executed simultaneously or concurrently or at a time. So here CPU time is divided among number of processors. According there is no priority cases also. So serially, as they enter the input will enter the processor, it will start executing.